Hello and welcome, future leaders. To all the students of Europe Hotel School, I'm thrilled to be with you today. You're all preparing for some pretty major responsibilities. And one of the biggest tests you're going to face isn't about guest service, not at first anyway. It's about managing your department's finances before a single guest even walks through the door. In this explainer, we're going to build your playbook for pre-opening financial success. So let's start with this core idea. I want you to think of all that financial planning as the essential scaffolding for your new hotel. If that scaffolding is weak or it's poorly planned, the entire project, it can come crashing down. Your ability to manage this framework is what really proves you're ready for a leadership role. So, here's our game plan. We'll start with that financial scaffolding concept. Then we're going to dive into your operating budget and those big long-term assets. We'll also get into the nitty-gritty of managing cash. And finally, we'll tie it all back to what this is really about, building a foundation of trust. Ready? Let's get started. Okay, so as a future front office manager, your financial world, especially in a pre-opening phase, is really split into two main buckets. You've got the money you spend to get ready for day one, and you have the money you invest for the long haul. And let me tell you, getting both of these right is absolutely non-negotiable for a successful launch. This slide does a great job of showing you the two sides of your financial coin. On one hand, you've got the pre-opening operating budget. This is all about the now, the immediate costs to get your team trained and your supplies ready for that grand opening. On the other hand, there's capital expenditure, or CAPEX. That's about the future, investing in the big, long-lasting tools and tech you'll be using for years. Let's tackle that operating budget first. Right, let's zoom in on the operating budget. I want you to think of this as the fuel for your department's launch. This is everything you spend before the hotel earns its very first dollar in revenue. It's all about making sure you are 100% ready for day one. Let's be really clear about this. Pre-opening payroll is, without a doubt, your biggest and most critical expense. And you're not just hiring people here. You are investing in a team. A fully trained, confident crew that can deliver that 5-star experience from the very first moment those doors open. Now, this timeline, it shows this strategic balancing act you're going to have to perform. So you're brought in early to build the whole foundation. But then there's this really critical window for hiring your team. If you bring them on too early, you just burn through your budget. But bring them on too late, and you risk sacrificing the quality of their training. Mastering this timing is a true hallmark of an effective manager. All right, so after payroll, your next big focus is OS&E. These are all the tangible, everyday things your team absolutely needs to function. It's your job to create a totally comprehensive checklist and make sure you have every single thing you need before you go live. And here are just a few examples of what we're talking about. You're responsible for sourcing everything from the key cards and stationery to the credit card terminals. Now, a key takeaway here, and this is a pro tip, is that you have to budget for enough initial stock to last you for the first 3 months. You've got to anticipate your needs before you have any real operational data to guide you. Okay, let's shift gears. We're moving on to your second major financial stream. This isn't about those day-to-day items. This is about making significant, long-term investments that will shape your department's future for years to come. So here's the formal definition. When an item is capitalized, what does that really mean? Well, it means it's treated as a long-term investment on the hotel's financial statements, not just a one-time expense. And that distinction is absolutely vital for accurate financial reporting to the hotel owners. Now, you might not be picking out the lobby furniture, but your voice is absolutely critical when it comes to technology. You'll be advising on the core property management system, the server hardware, security systems, the whole shebang. The real challenge here is to think long-term. You have to be the one advocating for systems that can grow and integrate with future tech, not just what works on opening day. Okay, let's zoom in from those big picture budgets to a very hands-on task that requires absolute precision. We're talking about managing physical cash, and this is where your financial diligence is really put to the test every single day. The cash float is pretty much the lifeblood of your front desk's financial transactions. It's that starting cash in all your registers that allows your team to make change, handle cash payments, and do currency exchanges for international guests. It's so important to remember, this isn't revenue, it's working capital. And you are at the center of setting this up correctly. It's a huge responsibility. You'll work side by side with the Director of Finance to write the standard operating procedures for every single cash transaction. Your input is essential to make sure those procedures are both super secure and practical enough for your team to execute them flawlessly.
So we've gone through payroll, supplies, tech, and cash. But why does all this meticulous, detailed work matter so much? Well, it all comes back to one essential professional outcome. What's the big why behind all this?
This, right here, is the end game. Every budget you forecast accurately, every report you submit transparently, it all builds confidence with the hotel's owners. You're not just managing funds, you're proving that you are a fiscally responsible leader they can trust with their multi-million-dollar asset. You're showing them you're a safe pair of hands, and that ensures the entire project is viable right from day one.
So, I'll leave you with this question to really think about. You see, the best leaders in our industry, they master this balance. They are incredibly disciplined with their budgets, of course, but they never, ever compromise on the tools and the training their team needs to deliver an absolutely unforgettable guest experience. This is the challenge, and honestly, it's the opportunity that's waiting for you.